Hi, my name is Madeline Welsh, and today I will be explaining and relating personal experiences to the idea of being a competent communicator in intercultural situations. I will begin with explaining what it means to be a competent communicator and explain the key components that make it up. The definition the book provides us with of intercultural communication competence is the ability to communicate effectively and appropriately in various cultural contexts. The components of ICC that make it up are motivation, or the root of a person's desire to foster intercultural relationships. And there's two parts to this part of it. The intrinsic part, which is when you're doing it out of just getting a fulfilling and learning experience and it's rewarding for the person, or extrinsic, which is when you're doing it for outside rewards, like for money or power. The next component is mindfulness, or the state of self and other monitoring that informs later reflection on communication. So this is when you look back on interactions and when you can evaluate and change your behaviors. Next is cognitive flexibility, which is the ability to continually supplement and revise knowledge and create new categories in your mind. So making new ideas about the world and people who are in it. And lastly, we have tolerance for uncertainty, which is the attitude and level of comfort people feel in uncertain or unsure situations. In intercultural communication, a lot of times it brings a lot of uneasiness and unsureness of the unknown, and it's really important to get over this unsureness. One example where I can distinctly remember the components of intercultural communication not being met was at my old job at a burger joint. Working with a mostly predominantly Hispanic staff, I dealt a lot with Spanish speakers and kind of picked up the language as I went. But one day when I was working there, a middle-aged white man got into an altercation with one of our Hispanic managers of the restaurant and was being very insensitive and rude and impatient when dealing with someone who didn't speak English as their native language. And I vividly remember just thinking, how is this man not thinking of how he's making her feel right now? He obviously lacked motivation to foster any kind of positive relationship with the other language speaker. The mindfulness to stop and ask, how is our communication going and what are the reactions that I'm bringing out of people? And there also might have been a very low tolerance for uncertainty in this situation when he wasn't sure how to communicate properly, so he reverted to a very aggressive approach to it. So obviously in this example, some people are better equipped to deal with these situations than others. Another way I can relate this topic of being competent in intercultural communications is a personal experience with my best friend Ivana from high school. Her parents are originally from Mexico, and English is their second language. And when I'm dealing with them, I always try to be mindful of, am I being patient? Am I being respectful? And I always try and keep the idea in my head that they're making a special effort to communicate with me, and it would be very insensitive of me to not appreciate that. Just because an individual doesn't speak what the textbook refers to as standard English, or what the white middle-class ideologies think that English should be spoken as, does not mean that there's any barrier between intelligence. It's just a language barrier that needs to be patiently overcome. The lessons I've learned from seeing what not to do in my work experience and learning how to speak with people from different cultural backgrounds in my personal life will give me tools that I can have in a tool belt to pull from my whole life. It's important to understand that every day you interact with people from a variety of cultural backgrounds and identities, and that these differences and learning how to deal with them can help you build long-lasting, meaningful relationships.